Good morning. I'm getting ready to make one of my favorite recipes for my little thing here. I forgot what you call it. It's a coffee machine press. I choose uh, stainless steel because I had a glass one at one point, but it was broken by my son when he was a toddler. And I had simply replaced it with a metal one. This one would work great for camping, work great in the home. I am particularly klutzy, and so, I tend to prefer something like this that I don't have to worry about, that I'm going to break. And here this water is looking pretty ready to go. So this is also a stainless steel pot that you can see the handle broke off of. So we use this to help us pour. This is how it works. Just put it on the edge and grip it. Just fill to the top. There's a line in there somewhere that tells you where to stop. A lot of the times I don't really pay attention to that. I just sort of go right about there and stop. My tablespoon, which is basically the same measurement as a regular measure spoon. And I usually will put about 2 in here, whether that's coffee or tea. Pour it in. And then because I do like a little chocolate sometimes, I will usually grab a spoonful here just to give it a little bit of a cocoa flavor. And that will brew together. I'll go through and stir it real quick. I like to make sure I don't have anything sticking out, or you're going to have it in your tea. I don't know how some people can have loose leaf tea. That kind of texture-wise drives me crazy. But this here is a great little filter to keep it all out. If you fill it too full, this is going to overflow out the side. And I'll let that filter. I probably should have not done that. I can pull that up. Filter. Let it filter for 5 minutes. Not filter. What am I talking about? Brew. You want to let it brew. Alright. And then in a few minutes I will go and press that down and pour myself a cup of coffee. Or tea, mind you. Now, while we wait for the tea to brew, I wanted to speak a little bit about stainless steel and why I choose the baking dishes and the pots and pans that I do. If you take a quick look over here, here's a few of my cast iron. Now this one here is rusted and I have not used it in a while, and I've got plans to refurbish this and season this one. And I've got this in the back here that I can, use for making tea. Now, with cast iron, if you do not dry it out properly, it will rust. So I tend to not always use this pot as much as I should. It looks like my son has put a chopstick in here. And so I don't always use this pot as much as I should. But back on to stainless steel. Back when I was pregnant, I accidentally left a pan like this over on the burner. Probably from, washing dishes, putting it down, and then not following through and putting it away. That's one of those things I sometimes have issues with. But I am a bit forgetful when it comes to things at times. And just to be on the safe side, I tend to prefer stainless steel. So I broke 2 ceramic pans like this when I was pregnant. So you're extra forgetful when you're pregnant. It's called mom brain. And so I had gotten rid of those after they were broken, and I never got any more that were ceramic. So, and then I went through all my bowls and I decided to keep only the stainless steel. Now they are less pretty, they are less stylish. You know, my kitchen is more about function than perfect looks, you know, or showing off how expensive everything is. Um, so this one here I like to use for my herbalism purposes. You put oil in it and beeswax, and you will melt that, and you will add your herbs into it, and it will, you know, get your herbs ready for salves and things like this. This is why I love this bowl. And then of course, popcorn bowl. This is my popcorn bowl. So anyway, I've just done my dishes. I wanted to chat with you guys about this. Over here, I only have 2 pots that I use regularly, and then that one I use for a teapot. Mainly because the Teflon lined teapots are made out of aluminum, and I don't use any aluminum pots and pans. And for 2 reasons I don't use a regular teapot is because I'm hearing impaired and I can't hear a teapot whistle. I tend to walk away from things, and I need to rely on my pots and pans to be sturdy enough to handle me being gone for a little bit longer than I should have been, if it were to warp a little bit. So as you can see, these cans are, the pots are well loved, they are well used, they're not in perfect condition, but they work great, they're sturdy, and this is why I prefer them. So, I tend to be more minimalistic when it comes to my pots. I try not to have too many extra pots and pans, partly because it's easier to clean. You have less, you clean them more often, and because it's healthier for you, and just to have less. Now, here is my inner pot for my rice cooker, and this is also healthier for you with no Teflon.